way. You know, the trial's over, the sentencing's over. There was a few subpoenaed here that were at the trial. They were questioned if he had a good tender up until the point of the funds that were missing. Everyone said yes. It was a great tender. That ain't the John we know. He was great, did good. But during his tender, we had $18,000 missing. He taught class at 2 colleges on our time.
Dave, that's old history.
Tom, it ain't history.
The guy isn't here to defend himself.
It ain't about him. It ain't about him. It's about whoever said he had a good tender.
If you want to talk about the case, go ahead, but not about the past things. That he's not here to defend himself.
I ain't talking about him.
You are
I'm talking about the ones that were subpoenaed said he had a good tender. How is that a good tender if there's $18,000 missing in his time?
That's what you keep saying, and again.
In his time, wait, I ain't done yet. He taught at 2 colleges.
Move on to something else. Or you're done.
No,
move on to
Tom,
something else.
He taught at 2 colleges.
Move on to something else, or you're done.
But 5 years ago,
Does anybody else want to?
we were going to hire someone's nephew, and that got shut down.
Dave, someone else.
I mean, someone got to go here.
Anybody else want to make any
And
comments?
you all know who I'm talking about.
It's their opinion. They have the right to their opinion. Everybody does.
You want to make a
Everyone
comment?
does.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's totally unrelated. My name's Anna Esplin. I'm one.
You got to come up to the microphone so everybody can hear, please.
Hi. Anna Esplin, 335 Boston Church Road. We just have a question. We didn't really get much information, but the gas company's been on our road forever, working on that main gas line. We've been having a lot of trouble with the road collapsing and a lot with the rain problems. Is there any end date for this, when it's going to be over, or what's going on with it? We're just, right now we have to take our kids up and around and down the hills to take them to get the bus, and I'm just curious when, if there's any, we didn't get any information prior to it starting, and we didn't get any information during the whole project, so it was just.
What road is that?
Fawcett Church.
Let me just speak to the ongoing water project down there. Their ditches were open and they were inundated with water. The ditches filled with water, the sidewalls collapsed. It's been one rainstorm after another. We're as anxious to get this over with as you are and get the road paved. We were down there today and opened up some inlets up at the top of the hill up there with a jet rodder, and my list manager assured me that they are moving forward as quickly as possible. But they have to brace the walls and pump the water out of the trenches before they can continue with work. And that's what the problem has been, is trying to get the water out of the ditches so they can get back down in there.
And they're just hearsay. We're just hearing some of the workers talking as well. They had like 24-hour surveillance over there. We heard that there was some type of crack in the original gas line that they've been monitoring. Has anybody mentioned that to anyone here?
No.
And there have been trucks there 24 hours a day, all weekend, all holiday weekend. We were just concerned when we heard that. I don't know which one of the gentlemen said it, because I'm hearing it from somebody, but when I'm hearing it, it's making me concerned for my family.
What company is it?
Columbia Gas.
Can we reach out to them and find out why they?
Yeah, I'll talk with Renato in the morning.
Yeah. Renato's really good. I had a problem and I had to reach out to him about something. He's really good. So maybe give the township a call tomorrow. He can reach out to
I
them.
was curious.
Let me just say this about Columbia Gas. They are as anxious to get the job done as you are.
I'm sure they are.
It's been a nightmare project from the start.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
And
Why
it's
the road keep caving in?
That's what they're saying, it's because of the water.
They were saying though too, when they dug out the water lines,
it already had a void in there from the previous water line.
Right.
So that
They had just got done putting,
No, they said also, when we have a 7.5 ton weight limit on that road, when we have a lot of heavy equipment coming in and out of there.
I have a mixed design from their contractor for a flowable fill, to fill those voids.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, though, I mean, you're gonna have heavy machinery in that also.
Right.
That's heavy duty coming on a little, small road
if they
like
can
that.
monitor the weight limits that are posted on that road, because we have a lot of heavy equipment.
Triaxle.
Triaxles coming in right on the road next to us, right on, so, on the right of way, two doors down from us, and they come up the road, they come down the road, we've complained about that in the past, but, and several of our neighbors as well, but the road weight limit hasn't really never been addressed, so we're just curious how long this is gonna happen.
All right, he's gonna call tomorrow. Go ahead.
Hello, Shel Stonemark, 1022 Sir Robert Drive. I have one question and then a comment. When there's like a tree down, and somebody brought this up earlier, so that's what triggered my memory here. There was a tree down on my road not too long ago when we had that really bad storm come through. Am I supposed to just call 911? Like there's no,
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I just felt weird calling them. Okay.
They'll call the township, and the township will call some guys in the road department, and they'll clear it.
Okay, it just felt
Even if it's a holiday or a weekend, they won't go on.
Okay, thank you. My other question is, if you guys were ever going to put on the agenda to fulfill those 2 positions that are open on the Parks and Rec Board, because I sent my application in probably, I don't know, to Mr. Januso probably 6 months ago, maybe? March is when we're gonna, why is it, because there's 2 people that are on the board now whose commissions already expired. Why is it waiting until March?
There's 3 other people who've also submitted applications, and unfortunately, no one was willing to put it on the agenda. I won't name names, but.
Is there a reason why? That there's 2 people with expired commissions currently serving and you guys don't want to put 2 different people in there?
Or fill 2 of the open spots.
Would never put somebody's name on the agenda if there isn't a consensus for them.
Meaning that,
How do you know if there's a consensus when it's never been asked? At least not to my knowledge.
I mean, I'm asking now.
I'm just saying that if we would never put somebody's name on an agenda if there's not a consensus for that person.
I don't mean to
It
put.
might embarrass somebody.
I don't mean embarrass. I'm saying there are 2 people whose commissions expired in January of this year. And I sent my application in and I didn't hear anything back from the township about whether or not my application was even received. And then I even checked the minutes, checked the agendas, and nothing's ever posted that you guys were even trying to fill those 2 positions.
So wait, just for my clarification, you would rather leave open seats on a board than to fill them with people who are genuinely interested because of politics, or why?
What's it have to do with politics?
Well, why would you rather leave 2 open seats?
If you were a citizen and you had your name on the agenda and there wasn't, the board members were going to vote it down, perhaps, would you like to have your name on the agenda, or would you rather just not even have it on?
Yes, I would like to know who's going to vote it down and what their reason is for leaving 2
Or
open
you
seats.
can talk to all the board members and get a consensus one way or the other. We just don't have a consensus. We'll never
So
put
you've
a
had
name-
how many applicants? How many people have sent in the
We have had at
resumes?
least 3 applicants in the
For
past.
2 positions and no one's been up to snuff for you guys to, including
Not
myself.
not for me, but.
And so that's how you guys, handle the situation, and rather than, respond to me and say, well, we took a vote, 3 to 2, you're out. That to me is consideration, just, genuine human consideration.
It is. That's why we wouldn't do it.
I still
You
don't
would do it even though
understand.
it's the considerate thing to do? I mean, I don't understand.
I don't understand why you would rather have 2 open seats on a board where their job is to volunteer in the community instead of appointing people who are genuinely interested because you disagree with
When there's
them.
been issue after issue with the Parks and Rec Board this year, which is why I put my name in to begin with.
Mr. Chairman, I believe it was back in June after the May primaries, I had talked with an individual. It was probably in our June meetings that I recommended 2 people, and I've been very busy working. I recommended, I believe we approved them. Are they currently serving on the Parks and Rec Board? Bonnie Cotton was one of them, and I believe Mark Bonus.
Yeah, they're both on it, but
Okay.
there's still 2 seats that were expired that were done in January.
Okay, I was unaware there'd be 2 more
Other
open.
empty seats. well, I mean, they're still listed on the website, but they expire in January, and then 2 more expire in January of 17.
Okay.
So there's only
It's a simple
14.
thing, if there's no consensus, the name will go on the agenda, period. We need a consensus. I can't explain it any other way to you.
No, I don't think you're understanding my question. No one ever responded to me at all, that they even received my application. That no one ever turned around and said, hey, we got your application, it's being considered. No one even told me if I was being considered. I never got a response at all.
I was
And my
never
friend
asked.
who also applied, who I know specifically also applied, she just couldn't come with me tonight, she never got a response either, from anybody.
Mr. Chairman, who is in charge or responsible for getting that consensus? I know I was never asked about anyone. Supervisor Casciola, were you ever asked about any of these additional candidates?
No, I was notified, Michelle, of your application. There may have been 1 or 2 more, as Cindy said. But we never took any action on, hiring of any 2 officers. I didn't know there was 2 vacancies.
Also, I'm guessing that's your answer on who the consensus was, but.
Well, I'm not aware that there's any position open.
I was neither.
Well, if you look at the website, and you go into the Parks and Rec Board, the first 2 people expired in January of 2016.
And was that
And
not,
there's still
was that
2
not the
additional
2 that
seats.
were filled? Was that not
No,
the
the
2?
2 additional seats are already filled. There's 7 on the board now, but 2 of them that are expired
See
were
that?
expired
All
in
right,
January.
the manager said he would check into that on those dates. If there's an expiration and somebody expired, we will talk to him again if we want to, or else if there's a consensus, there'll be a name on the board if there's a vacancy.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any general comments?